There was an idea by Nando V Movies to bring together a third group of remarkable film YouTubers to discuss scenes that let us dig into the glorious purpose behind our favorite movie villains. Unless you're me, because, all the big film YouTubers are taking all the big villains, so what am I going to do? Well, today's episode of the Roman Shire, the Scriptorum segments where I talk about movies, I'm going to try to make this one more relaxed because, it's kind of like a nice mix between like the podcast style and the style of my other videos. My Scott Pilgrim video wasn't very good anyway. So we're trying something new here. So, what is the villain that I will talk about? Well, I know that it's like movies and stuff, but I saw in the playlist that there was a villain from Steven Universe, which is a TV show if you guys don't know that. So, I'm just going to do my favorite TV show, a villain played by Chevy Chase. I'm going to talk about Community and its villain, Pierce, also known as Pierce Hawthorne the Flatulent. So, what scene might I be talking about that features Pierce, perhaps? I am going to talk about a scene in Remedial Chaos Theory, one of the best episodes in Community. So, you should heed that spoiler warning that comes before this. Okay. Community is a very interesting show. It changes its genre on a whim to better fit the stories, and we all come to expect those sorts of things. But Remedial Chaos Theory doesn't really fit a genre, it fits a concept. The idea is that there are multiple different timelines, and each different timeline results in something else because of one slight difference, and those somethings could be drastic. I'm not talking about Pierce getting shot because that's not really a villain role here. I'm going to talk more about Abed's timeline, the timeline where Jeff rolls a 5 and Abed is the one who leaves to get the pizza. It's a thing in the concept of the episode. You'll figure it out. But the scene where he is about to give Troy his housewarming present, which we know already as the audience is a Norwegian troll, which Troy is scared of, something that Pierce is going to use to antagonize Troy in other timelines. But before he gets into it in this timeline, Troy stops him. Troy thanks him for letting him live with him. And this ends up revealing Pierce's biggest character motivation. That one of his main fears is being alone. He's divorced 7 people, and in his old age, he lives alone in a mansion with nobody else around him when he dies. Unfortunately, Pierce, making such a cruel prank, ends up realizing his worst fear. In the first season, he is trying to get the affection of the study group and the affection of the straight man, at least in the beginning he's a straight man, he's not really in the end, Jeff Winger. But all of it comes crashing down upon him because he naturally ends up playing a villainous role. I could have also talked about a scene in one of the paintball episodes, Fistful of Paintballs, where he has a standoff with Annie over a petty paintball game, which he was going to try to cheat to get the game to last longer. I could also talk about a scene in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where he explains that he does not like being excluded. He fears being left alone, and he craves the attention of others. That is the main motivation of Pierce's character throughout the series, and this causes him to do some remarkable and memorable, and some might even say, villainous things. And that is it for this video. I'm probably not talking about much for very long, but Pierce Hawthorne is a very interesting character to me, Honestly, I just wanted an excuse to talk about Community. Really, if you haven't seen Community and you're watching this, watch Community. It's on Netflix. One of the episodes where Pierce shows off his more antagonistic role in the show is unfortunately removed from Netflix. It's called Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So you can't watch that unless you're watching like YouTube clips, but enjoy it on Netflix. Just watch through the entire thing. I dare you. I triple dog dare you. And, this is probably a good way to get exposure. Look at me. I'm talking about a villainous role. I actually had trouble deciding on what villain I might do because I was certain that people had already gotten to the big bad villains. And then I ultimately decided, you know what? I'm not doing Killmonger. I'm not doing the original Joker from Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm not doing very, very many options. Instead, I'm representing a TV show. So that, I guess, can answer the question. Yes, I can do lessons on TV shows. Stay tuned for The Good Place, where I talk about The Good Place. Stay tuned for really anything. Watch my podcast that I do, and I try to invite my friends on it for it. 'Cause seeing as school has started, I might transition to doing every other week, but as of now, my plan is to just do it Fridays. So you can expect me every Friday with something on my channel. Maybe it'll be another film or TV show deep dive. Maybe I'll even do the Suicide Squad movie, which this is based on. And until that stuff happens, I hope you all have a great time on the internet. Good browsing. I'll see you all another time. Please subscribe.